It's really, really amusing to me just how confused people are over the statements that Ubisoft gave recently about Ghost Recon Breakpoint, where they talked about how they weren't trying to make any sort of political statement with the game. And I really, really appreciated that Ubisoft said that. I did a video on the channel a little bit ago that you can check out a few days ago talking about that. And they have here one of the quotes where they say, "We tried to find inspiration from the world around us, but we're building a game. We're not trying to make a statement." So basically, in that interview, Ubisoft were talking with people, and they were like, "No, we aren't trying to make any sort of political statement. We're not trying to put any sort of political bias in the game. We're just trying to build a game that people can have fun with. That's what we are focused on. We are focused on telling a good story, making a good game. We aren't focused on a political agenda." And you can make a game that's political without making political agendas in the game. It's pretty simple. There's plenty of movies and video games and books out there where it's a political movie or video game or book, but it doesn't try to force you to it doesn't try to force you to follow a certain mentality or believe a certain statement. It's basically just trying to be like, hey, this is what it is. So, you know, this is what we're trying to do here. We're not trying to make you to believe this. We're just basically saying this is what it is. And that's what they're trying to do with Ghost Recon Breakpoint, I believe. I believe that it's going to be semi-political at least, and most of their Ghost Recon games are, but they never try to like force you to follow a certain political belief. And they don't get into political or identity politics. They don't push political agendas or anything like that. And because they said that, it really made a lot of people, a lot of journalists, really confused. And they're like, they for some reason this just doesn't process in their brain. They don't know how you can make a game without being political. Apparently, like a game that focuses on good story and character and gameplay over political messaging. Do you even know how to make a game? It's pretty hilarious. So we have here VG247 basically is saying here, "How then will the publicly apolitical Ubisoft handle the sequel to this charge statement of a video game?" Talking about Good and Evil 2. "One worry is that Beyond Good and Evil 2 might dampen its fire. It's swapped the camera for a pirate spyglass, which might be more thematically appropriate for the game's crew, but is an instrument of magnification, not documentation. What's more, the movie from a linear narrative to open world structure threatens to dilute Beyond Good and Evil's sense of purpose." So we're talking about the camera spyglass thing. Let's see here. It says, "It's no mere gimmick. The protagonist, Jade's primary weapon isn't a gun, but a camera. Ubisoft Montpellier knows that photojournalism is perhaps the most radically political act an individual can engage in. It was photojournalists who reshaped the perception of the Vietnam War during and after, leaving the U.S. military media managers scrambling to catch up. And sure enough, in Beyond Good and Evil, it's a few key photographs that change the course of the story, indelible truths that open cracks in the dominance of the alpha sections." And I don't know what their point is here. I mean, sure, yeah, photojournalism is an important thing that can be a very effective tool, but they aren't using that to try to push any sort of political narrative. They aren't trying to push an agenda with that, you know? They're basically saying this is a fact. This is the fact that photojournalism is a powerful thing, and we're going to use that to impact the story that we're telling in Beyond Good and Evil. The thing is that these people don't understand is that Ubisoft isn't saying that they don't put political stuff in their movies. It's not, or their games. It's not saying, they're not saying that they don't have political settings that their stories take place in. They're saying that they aren't trying to make a political statement. There's a difference there. There's a difference between those two things. You can be political without making a political statement that tries to force an agenda on other people. So then again, the city at the center of Ubisoft Montpellier's demos to date has been stuffed with iconography from our world, this time religious, as well as hints at the second citizenship. Beyond Good and Evil's animal hybrids endure, something the first game never hinted at. There's injustice there too. It seems likely there's a contemporary unease bubbling beneath the surface of Beyond Good and Evil 2. One of which will reveal itself upon playing. The question is whether Ubisoft, as a mouthpiece, can get away with denying the messages baked into its work one more time, or whether this will be its breakpoint. And this just goes to show that these people just they're so confused. They don't understand the fact that Ubisoft is trying to make games that tell a good story set in political settings. Like, I don't understand why that's so hard for people to grasp. Anyway, I just wanted to give you guys an update on this. Even like The Division and stuff is a game that's very political in its setting and has a very political story, but they don't try to force agendas on you. They don't try to force identity politics on you. They don't do any of that. They're just trying to tell a good story. Why is that such a complicated thing for these people to understand? It's really not that complicated. Anyway, I just wanted to give you guys an update on this. Let me know in the comments below what you think. I'm excited, and I'm really excited that Ubisoft is taking this stance. And because of that, I'm really going to be supporting Ubisoft as they continue this up. Like, honestly, I've enjoyed some of Ubisoft's games in the past and stuff. And I'm excited for Beyond Good and Evil 2, and I'm really excited for Ghost Recon Breakpoint. So I'm going to be definitely checking out these games and supporting Ubisoft however I can. Let me know in the comments below what you think, and I will talk to you all very soon in another video. Talk to you later. Bye.